there's great pride in conservative circles in the MAGA movement over uh, the fact that there haven't been riots in the streets. There has not been violence. Stores have not been looted, etc. And the tone of this ceremony was not it was not partisan. Again, Don Jr.'s speech was a little bit partisan, but not in a negative way, and he didn't name names. There was no calling out of Adam Schiff or anything like that, with the exception of the president, who claimed the election was stolen and said he hated his enemies. But overall, if you wanted this to not be a red meat event, if you wanted, as I think Ari Fleischer wrote on social media before the ceremony a few days ago, if you wanted more chance of USA as opposed to GOP, it absolutely was that. There was a warmth and a serenity about this crowd and about the speakers and their interaction. This was not a hateful event. This was not an event meant to denigrate the other side. Again, with the exception of the two Trumps, even Stephen Miller, he was kind of my acid test because he spoke relatively early in the day. Even Stephen Miller was pretty positive, or at least not super negative, I should say. And the crowd was extraordinary in terms of its size. Thousands and thousands of people did not get in. Very hot here today, and so they waited a long time in the sun to then be told they couldn't get in. About 18,000 were able to go to an arena next to the stadium to watch from in there, but other people just were in the parking lot. I saw them from out the windows, and then I saw them as I was coming across the street. Three people came up to me in the morning before the event began, who recognized me as a frequent guest on Charlie's show, and they all had a version of the same story. They were not prominent people at all. One guy runs a big organization that Charlie helped, but he's not a famous person. And the other two were just people who knew Charlie personally. They all said the same thing, that no matter how big he had gotten and how much he was dealing with presidents and vice presidents and senior members of Congress, he never let their friendship lapse. He stayed in touch with them. He helped them. He gave them counsel and was available. And if you haven't listened to Tucker's podcast that he did guest hosting on Charlie's show, I think it dropped Friday. It's online now. He talked a lot about Charlie's faith, but he also talked about what a relentless friend Charlie was. And I know there are people on the left who don't like his policies. There are people on the left who think he's a fake and a hater. He was not a hater. He touched so many people, and of all his extraordinary multitasking skills, the ability to stay in touch with these three folks, again, not powerful people, was one of his extraordinary superpowers, to be as busy as he was, have two young kids, and travel all the time, and yet stay in touch with these folks.
Hey, want to be part of the two-way community all the time? Hit the subscribe button. Great video clips like this, plus conversations like no other, full episodes, and more, always available on this channel. You got to hit subscribe to never miss a thing.